Section 6. Most common tricks, threats, and lies used by child abusers and molesters to trap kids into starting and staying in the abuse. Abusers sadly are convinced that they are not doing a child any harm. The molester or the abuser actually believes that he or she is providing a feel-good service to a child in an emotional need. They also believe that this makes them worthy because they're doing something nice, even though God, the law, and basic morals say it's wrong. The abuser has convinced himself or herself that everyone else is wrong and that they just don't understand and that it's okay. They will hide what they are doing. They sometimes become friends with parents or whoever they need to earn trust from the child. Abusers also feel the need to control their own past and present environment. Again, that doesn't mean that every single adult that wants to be around a child or is a friend of the family is wanting to hurt the child. That's far from the truth. But you always have to just keep your eye open for things that don't look right. Now, here's some other things that we're going to look at that are tricks. A. Blackmail. It has come to current attention in recent years that there is a more common tactic now being used by child molesters. This tactic is when a child, young or teenage, is caught by a molester or predator doing something criminal or even something that the child would get into trouble for by their parents. If there is a molester or predator watching and looking for a child to harm, this can come into play very quickly. They will let the child know that they were seen doing what they were doing, and if they don't do sexual stuff with them, then the abuser will tell the parents or call the police, whichever is suitable. They'll tell the police about what the child did. So naturally the child gets scared, and they will fall into it. Parents, make sure that your child knows that allowing, quote-unquote, allowing themselves to be abused is more dangerous and damaging to them than what they've done wrong. Okay, because the reality is, and I say allowing not as in like a child has to be abused, but if they're convinced that it's better to allow this person to fool around with them than it is to have the person go to the parents and say what the kid did, no, it's much more dangerous and it's much more worse for the child to be abused and to be involved sexually with somebody than it is to be confronted by parents about whatever happened. B. The potential child abuser may not seem like a child molester at first. They may be really nice to you and even to your mom and dad. There are many nice adults that do not want to harm you. You have to remember that. Not every adult wants to harm a child. But even the nicest person, they're hanging out, they're friends with your parents, they're friends with you, friends with the child, whichever, they're hanging out, come over for dinner, that's all fine. But again, the moment that something comes up, the moment the child realizes, wait a minute, this person's talking sexual to me. Wait a minute, they wanted me to watch this thing on the computer. Wait a minute. There's your indication something's wrong. Right there. Something's wrong right there. C. Here's a trick. The potential abuser will sometimes become friends with the parents of the child they wish to, quote-unquote, help, as they believe, but it's actually harming them. They may do this through a random act of kindness or try to get involved with a single parent. They will earn trust with the hope of eventually spending time alone with the child. Again, not every adult that wants to spend time alone with a child wants to hurt them. I myself, growing up without a father present, a lot of the neighbors, my friends' fathers, would talk with me, invite me over for dinner, teach me how to fish, do great things, and never once did they try to harm me. So it's not that everybody wants to harm me, but if any of those people had tried to say something or do something, I would have known to get away from them. D. Trick. The potential abuser will offer something free to his potential victim. This is something that the child would like and would make the child look and feel popular, so that they will not refuse. The abuser may even offer money. They will claim it's just free with no strings attached. As a parent, keep your eyes open. New clothes, jewelry, music, or money, anything that the parent didn't buy. You should find who is giving your child free stuff. Demand to meet the person to make sure everything's okay with the free stuff. In a nice way, it would be a good idea to ask them why they're giving away free stuff to your child without consulting with you first. Parents, if another adult's just going to start giving your kids stuff, they really need to be coming to you first and making sure it's okay so you can kind of gauge if this is something that's appropriate or not. Lies told from abusers and molesters. Number 1, if you tell someone, they will not believe you. Kids, people who truly know you will be able to know if you're telling the truth. Even if you, as the child, have had a history of lying, police, parents, and the people who really know you will be able to tell if this is the truth you're speaking. Number 2, if you tell someone, they will think you're gay or that you're perverted or something. Again, kids, people who really know you and your true friends will know that this isn't true. Number 3, if you tell anyone about this, you will be in trouble because you let it happen. Okay? You will not be in trouble because anyone with even a tiny mind will understand that you were tricked and fooled into the sexual behavior. A lot of kids don't tell anybody because it happened once. They kind of like how it felt because they were like, hey, this didn't seem to be such a bad thing, watching this movie with something, Then they realize it's wrong, and now they're afraid to go tell because they're afraid that it's going to be like, well, how come you let it go on after that? But adults will understand that if you're tricked into it and you're led into it, that this could happen. The important thing is that you say something and you stop it now. Number 4. Here's a lie. If it feels good, how could it be wrong? What these molesters and these abusers don't tell you is that it's illegal, that it's immoral, that it's against God, and that it will mess you up emotionally in the future. Number 5. Here's another lie. If you tell anyone, then God will be mad at you because why wouldn't He want you and me to feel something good? And why wouldn't He want you to get me in trouble? Well, kids, God states very clearly in the Bible that immoral sex, which includes sex between adults and minors, is wrong. God does want you to feel good in many legal and safe ways. God also tells us to stand against evil, so He would definitely want you to stop the behavior. He would want you to say something. If you tell your parents, they will be mad at you. Your parents will not be mad at you, only at the one who hurts their child in this way. They would also understand that it was not your fault. You can go to your parents. Number 7. The abuser or the molester will try to use guilt to make you not get them in trouble. Don't fall for it. They are guilty and they deserve whatever consequences God has for them because of their actions. How could it be your fault that they made an evil choice? Or that you were vulnerable and hurting and looking for a friend? Parents, if a child is too scared to say something, you can bet it's because of one of these types of threats we're going to go over. Reassure them that you will take all the precautions needed. Number 1. If you tell anyone, then I will hurt you. Kids, the police and your parents will know how to protect you before the person has a chance to do anything. If you tell your parents that somebody is doing something to you and that they told you if you tell they're going to hurt you, do you think your parents are going to let you out of their sight? Of course they're going to protect you, so don't believe that the person is going to be able to hurt you. Number 2. If you tell your parents or anyone, then I will hurt or kill them. Now the person will be arrested before they can even think, and the police will know you're telling the truth and will protect all people involved. If you tell the police that this person threatened to kill your parents or hurt your dog or something like that, if you told, they're going to make sure that you're protected. They're not going to let the person come near you. Number 3. If any of your friends find out about this, then I will make sure I tell them and everyone that you're lying and that you're just gay or perverted or that you wanted it. Well, your true friends will believe you and not them. And if they don't, then they're not true friends. The abuser, if he or she thinks you told, isn't going anywhere near other kids until he or she feels the coast is clear. Anyway, he will be arrested, and that will speak for itself. Number 4. If you tell anyone about this, I will get into trouble. I may lose my family or my job, or I may have to kill myself, and it will be all your fault. That's a fat lie. Kids, how is it your fault for the choice that they make? It's their choice, not yours. Did you make them do the wrong thing? No, you did not. They chose to do it. Number 5. If anyone finds out about this, I will come and kidnap you. It's a lie. Again, the police will get the person before they can do anything. The police deal with this stuff all the time, and they can protect you. Not to mention your parents are going to protect you. They're not going to let you out of their sight. Nothing will happen to you. Number 6. If anyone finds out about this, I will hurt your family pet. Your parents will protect your pet after the police have been called. Again, nobody's going to let the pet out of their sight, or you out of their sight, if they know that there's been a threat made. Children, remember something. You never will know when the abuser will start to get scared and follow through on one of these threats. So it's up to you to tell someone right away of what they did and of the threats that they made, so that the people who care and love you can take precautions and protect you. Think about it. You think that the abuser's all comfortable thinking you're not going to tell. What happens if one day they start to think that you did tell, and all of a sudden they come and do something to you? You never know when that's going to happen. You shouldn't live in fear like that. You shouldn't be living in abuse like that. You tell somebody right away, and they'll make sure you're safe. Here's a good parental example. If your child is afraid of the family pet being hurt, show them that you will keep the pet inside or in your room after the police have been called. This will show them that you're taking the steps to protect them. The dog goes out in the yard to go to the bathroom, you go out there with the dog. The parent will go out there with them. They'll make sure that the animal is going to be safe. And you can take little steps like this, parents, to show that you will take the precautions necessary to keep the child safe.